Hey guys, this is a message to young black men or young black people in general. This message can go for anybody, but it's specific to young black men. And the reason I say this because I'm a black man in America, guys, and I was once a young black man in America. And so I believe it's my responsibility to use this platform to speak to that demographic because that demographic was me. If you're a young person of any nationality, right? It doesn't matter. This message will probably ring true for you. I get a lot of email and a lot of responses from young black men who have questions for me. And they see me, they listen to what I'm saying on YouTube, and they reach out to me and ask me questions all the time about, what can I do? I'm 30 years old. I'm 25. I'm 35 years old. What can I do to begin to build some wealth and do some of the things that you've done? And so I want to address that. I want to address it by having this conversation to young black men. But again, if you're a young person in general, this information will probably be applicable. I have a soft spot in my heart for young black men because I was that young black man who wasn't quite sure what to do, was looking for answers in 1998 and 1999, trying to figure out what can I do to make more money, to increase my income, to make sure I'm investing right and saving for my future. I was that guy. So I want to reach out to that guy. I want to talk to that younger self of me and all the young men that reach out to me on a regular basis. Listen, the first thing is this, guys. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Let's just say that point blank, flat out. There's light at the end of this tunnel in terms of money and financing. You have to focus on not working and making other people wealthy, right? And making other people rich. We have to earn some income, but then we have to increase our earned income and then use that increase in income to make more money for ourselves through investing that money, right? Money making money. So guys, we cannot keep making ourselves just look good on the outside, right? That's not it, man. Looking good on the outside, posing for photos, that's not it. We have to take whatever income we have and live on less than we make. We have to live on less, right? And then we have to start buying assets that are appreciating and going up in value. We have to start buying assets with that little cushion of money that's left over at the end of our expenses. Use that cushion to get in the stock market, to buy some real estate, to work on ourselves, right? Self-develop ourselves and perhaps start a business, whatever it may be. It's not about working and working and working and working harder and working 90 hours a week. It's not about that. It's about working smarter, doing some things with strategy, right? And some planning in mind. And a course of action. We have to plan where we want to go. We also got to take full responsibility. We got to take full responsibility for where we are with money and where we are in life. We got to look in the mirror and say, hey, you made this mess. Now you have to clean up the mess. Take responsibility for the past, take responsibility for right now, and then take responsibility for where we're going, where you're going in your future. Okay. Don't wallow in your bad decisions and bad mistakes of the past. Wallow in past racism and past all the things that have kept Black people out of becoming top earners or becoming the money makers in the society. We understand all the history, the hundreds of years of history, but we got to get past that by looking in the future. We can't, now that the past is gone, don't live in the past when it comes to making money, earning money. Now, I don't want to discount all that stuff because it matters, what you did in the past and the history in America. But I also want to say, in order to move forward, you can't be looking in the past. You can't be looking behind you and be marching towards something better, a better future. We don't want to harp so much on the past that it stops us from progressing today and into what's next. And then the other thing, guys, is don't look for validation. Because as a young Black man in America, you may not get the validation you want. You may not get that validation that you're looking for. It may never come, right? Doesn't mean that you're not worthy of it. Doesn't mean that you don't deserve it. You do, right? But you have to get to the point where you validate yourself. You worry about validation from you, not from people you don't know. Pat yourself on the back when you do something good if you have to. There may not be nobody around to pat you on the back when you start growing your money, or when you get that better certification to get that other job to make more income, or when you start that business. But don't worry about it. And again, don't worry about looking the part. Don't spend all of your money on things to look good, right? Don't worry so much about the look. The goal is not to look rich and be broke. The goal should be to look average and be wealthy. Get your validation by growing your money and moving to another place in your life and developing yourself. Get your validation from from having assets that people can't see, not the cars and the shoes and the gold. That's not validation. It's impossible to build any semblance of wealth if you're spending half your money on bills, and then you take the other half of your money and you spend it on cars and clothes, right? You'll never become wealthy if that's your strategy. If that's what you do every single time you get paid or every month, that's not a strategy for building wealth. It just doesn't add up like that, right? You'll always be behind and feeling like a hamster in a wheel if that's your plan. Again, you have to spend less than you make. Then focus that extra cushion of money on several places. Focus that extra cushion of money on your emergency money, building that up so you have $10,000 and $20,000 cash that you can get to in an emergency. And then also spend that money on paying down the bad debt, the debt on things that are going down in value. Spend that money, that cushion of money between your income and expenses every single month on those things, emergency money, and then paying off debt, and then investing, using that money. That's why the more you can live below your means, the bigger that cushion, the more that you can do things that are going to help build your wealth, right? You don't want to have a bunch of debt. Debt just pulls money. Debt pulls money from the money you could be investing and growing for the you that's 60 years old, or the you that's 45, or the you that's 80, whatever it may be. And then you want to take that. And when I say invest, I say the stock market, but you can also invest in real estate, an asset that's going up in value. It's not beyond you to have some real estate. It's not out of reach for you as a Black man in America to have a commercial building, or 2 or 5 or 20 pieces of commercial property that you rent out and lease out to other businesses, right? It's not beyond you. That is for you. That's out there for you to obtain. You can, those apartment buildings that has, 400 units in that apartment complex, you can buy that. You can own that. There's nothing stopping you from being the person that can own that. And this is what you got to say to you. This is how you got to talk to yourself every day. As a young Black man in America, you got to talk yourself up to yourself, right? Oftentimes, the best thing that you will ever hear about yourself is what you say to yourself. So you've got to talk yourself up to you about what you can do, about what's out there for you to achieve and to have. But you got to be adding assets. And think about increasing your assets, like with what I said earlier, small businesses. Maybe there's something you do well, you do on the side, or you've been doing for a long time, a skill that you have that you could enhance and increase and get better and better and better. It's one thing to have a skill, but you need to become the best at the skill that you have. Become the best at whatever your talent or your gift is. Work hard at it. You got it. It was given to you naturally. It was God-given talent, God-given abilities and skills and gifts. Now you have to hone it. Now you have to shape it and form it and make it better and better and better. And remember, young Black man, you are more than entertainment. You are more than an athlete. You are more than music and rap, right? You're more, nothing wrong with any of that. But I just want to let you know that you have other talents besides being entertainment for somebody else. Maybe you're gifted in a whole different area that you haven't even thought about. You thought about when you were 6 and 7 and 8 and 10 years old, but just kind of left your peripheral, right? Think about that. Maybe it's a mathematical gift, a science gift. Maybe it's creativity. Maybe you're good with your hands. You can build stuff. Maybe you have a gift of service to other people in some form or fashion, right? Every gift that you have doesn't have to wow a crowd. Maybe you have a gift that is not wowing and whoa, and look how high he can jump, or look how fast he can run, or look how well he can dance. Maybe there's another talent that you have. Maybe you don't have any of that. Right? But everybody was born with a talent, and you, young Black man, you were born with a talent or gift also. And then make sure that, if you have children as a young man, make sure you're teaching your children about money, about some of the mistakes you made that you don't want them to make, right? So maybe you're teaching them at 6 and 7 and 8 and 10 years old how to earn some money. And then maybe you're teaching them how to gain profit, right? How to buy something that's going up in value. You can teach these things at a very, very early age if you have a child. Like me, I had a child when I was 18 years old. I had a young child at 18, but I had to learn some things, and then I had to try to teach those things to my child as well, right? But I'm telling you that that is the move, because we don't want to have any more generations that are lost when it comes to money and finances, right? We understand the history, we know the history, but we also know that moving forward, we got to make sure our generations that come after us are well equipped to be successful and not be poor for generation after generation after generation. It stops with you. It can stop with you right now, today. Now, the other thing, guys, is if you can up your skills to a higher paying skill, that's important too. That's actually really, really important. What keeps most people poor is they have low paying skills. So you want to up your skills as much as possible, as much as you can, right? Gain additional skills, hone your skills, refine those skills, become excellent at those skills, high standards for where you are with those skills. And if you have a job, young black man, please, whatever you do, if you have a job, be sure to start putting money in the 401k. 10%, 15%. Put money in the 401k. At least get the match, but try to go above and beyond. And then if you change jobs, make sure that you have that money transferred to a new job or rolled over to a new job, so that you just keep doing that. You just keep, and you put money that they're investing in the stock market at your job's retirement plan or 401k, 403b. And if you just keep doing that, just over the long period of time, you're going to look up and say, wow, I have $100,000 sitting there after 10 years. I didn't know that. And then after 15 years, wow, I have $300,000 sitting there. That's how it works. And that's investing. If you don't want to go out and start your own brokerage, you don't want to start your own brokerage account at Vanguard or Fidelity or Charles Schwab. Just utilize the investing at your job, right? That's a way to get in the game in terms of investing as well. But you got to elevate your thinking. You got to elevate your mind. You have to elevate your plans and goals and strategy. Everybody has the same 24 hours, right? You have to be strategic about how you use your 24 hours and be more efficient. And when you make more money, you don't necessarily have to spend more money, because when you get a raise or you get a promotion or you start making more money, again, that's a bigger cushion if you leave your expenses alone. If your expenses is $3,000 this year, and then next year you get a raise and you're making a whole bunch more money, keep your expenses at $3,000, so that now you have a bigger cushion to put towards an emergency fund. Now you have a bigger cushion to invest in the stock market or invest in your job's retirement plan. Now you have a bigger cushion to pay off some of the bad debt. But every time you make more, don't spend more. Do yourself a favor, detach yourself from the entertainment world. Give little time and energy and attention to pop culture. Don't follow the crowd. Don't do what everybody else is doing, and do not pay too much attention to the media. Right? Don't try to detach yourself from that. You got 24 hours. You should be improving yourself. You should be strategizing, planning. Spend less time dealing with social media platforms as much as possible, right? Maybe listen to some of your favorite podcasts, but do that while you're putting in work, or spend less time doing some of that leisure stuff, guys, that don't put money in your pocket or don't advance you in terms of your development, that don't hone your skill. In other words, spend more of your time strategically working on you. That may sound like it's a lot, but it's really not a lot if it becomes a habit, right? So young black man, listen, I'm not perfect, right? I've made a lot of mistakes along the way with money. I'm just really a regular guy. I'm a regular guy with a YouTube channel who loves giving advice on things that I did wrong and how I was able to change those things into doing something right. I did a few good things with money and it changed my entire financial situation from a negative net worth to a 7-figure net worth. Sure, it took about 20 years, guys, but still, I made a lot of mistakes along the way. And listen, I'm here to help you guys and say, hey, I made mistakes, but look, you don't have to do what I did. I didn't have a father. I had nobody to explain all of this to me in 1997, in 1999, in 2003. There was no internet. There was nobody explaining these things to me. Now, I did have, thankfully, I had somebody that showed me what compound interest meant, right? I had a strong mother and I had a few strong people around me. But listen, I didn't have a man come on in front of me on the screen and talk directly to me about what I need to be doing with my money right now. You got that. Again, if you need to holler at me, you can reach out to me. My email and contact information is going to be in the description box of this video below. Feel free. I give free 15-minute phone calls for anybody. If you just want to chop it up about your situation, reach out to me. Okay, I don't mind. Thankfully, by the grace of God, I was able to be here before you and able to help and pass along this information and this knowledge to other people. And that's my job. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you guys, right? So again, listen, you got this. Don't give up. There's light at the end of the tunnel, all right? But we have to be responsible and we got to look the person in the mirror square in the eye and say, hey, what can I do to change? What can I do? Black man, young black man in the mirror. What can I do to change and make some changes in terms of my financial situation and my future financial situation? And when you know, pass it along to somebody else that looks like you, that has the same potential experiences that you had, so that we can pass this knowledge and this information along to the next generation. Hey, I hope this was able to help somebody, whether you're a young black man or you're not a young black man. If you're a young person in general, this information is for you. Hey, the best person to take care of the old you is the young you. Do me a favor. Take care of yourself, but also take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.